Those who stay will be champions.
I walk into the party, my name is at the door. I get myself a drink as I make it to the floor. I walk into the party, get my name at the door. But they want more, it's me, do you wanna take a picture of me?
Last where we left off, we basically fell apart. And I had to do a lot of soul searching and basically figure out what I was going to do, if I was going to just apply to a new guild and start raiding with them. I always have a few in mind, but if I was going to apply to a new guild and just move on, if I was going to stop playing WoW altogether because I was burned out from it, or if I was going to stay with Big Crits. I basically thought about all of my experiences with Big Crits. I thought about the good times, the bad times. What was the reason for those bad times? Could they be fixed? Were we too far gone? Is the game too old now? Is there just not enough people interested? Is the tier too late now and there's no way? It would just be way too much effort. Do I even have the fucking free time in real life to do everything that I need to do?
When the breakup of the raid team happened, that's when I decided to make an announcement. As of the end of the expansion, or when the raid team no longer needed me, whichever came first, I was going to retire from hardcore raiding.
Suzu was like, I'm leaving soon, and we didn't really have a leader.
I mean, this wasn't because... It certainly wasn't because I didn't like the guild anymore, you know? I mean, I fucking love all the crazy fucking assholes in Big Crits.
The people in Big Crits and the guild that Big Crits had was the reason I was still playing WoW.
And it wasn't really because I didn't like the game anymore either, you know? This isn't one of those things where I'm quitting because I can't do this catering the game to casuals and daddies and I'm too hardcore and awesome for this game anymore. No, fuck that. It's just that I've been dedicating 3 to 5 nights of a week of my life to raiding in this game for the past, 6-7 years, I think, at this point. And so, with me retiring, that means that since 2010, when the raid team started, we now officially have 100% turnover, as I was the last of the remaining original Big Crits members who responded to Stony Baby's recruitment post on WoW Insider back then.
That's not even Suzu's final.
I like the polite Suzu's final.
Here's the leadership situation at this point. We had Suzu as GM, and me as an officer. And that was it.
And so, with me retiring, I passed the proverbial torch down to Theric, who was at the time the only officer other than me.
As an officer, I felt like leaving the guild was taking the easy way out. I felt like I was basically, well, giving up on the guild, something that I've been a part of for 3 years, but, you know, it's dead now, so whatever. And I felt like that's just a disservice to everybody that loved the guild. I felt like I would not feel, or I knew I would not feel good with myself if I did not at least give it a shot to try and rebuild from the ashes.
Breck made a very heroic post in the forums saying that he would be leading the recharge or the refuel, I forget what it was.
I said, Big Crits is not going to close up shop. I'm going to rebuild the raid team. I'm going to do everything in my power to make this raid team the best it's ever been. I'm going to make a lot of changes and do whatever it takes to make this guild successful again. And if you want to stay, that's fine. If you want to leave, you don't want to go through months of rebuilding, then honestly, no hard feelings.
He's definitely the right guy for the job at this time.
Theric's always been involved, and he's a good guy that everyone goes to, and very approachable. I think we could all learn a lot from him. He's well spoken, and I think we're going to be in good hands.
And honestly, I was impressed at how well Theric stepped up. You know, he really... I passed GM onto him, and he really went into leader mode, you know?
And I think that was a very positive change for us.
Direct becoming GM wasn't that surprising.
I never really felt like I was that good at being GM, because, I mean, I was never much of a leader. You know, I mean, I was promoted to officer because I knew how to assign healers, and I knew, you know, just a lot about the game, so I could contribute a lot to strategy discussions and discussions with officers and whatnot. But I never really thought of myself as much of a leader. Relative to me, though, I feel like Theric stepped up to being GM really well, you know?
We also had some other people step up, too.
And once Freck stepped in, we had our other officers, Asteria, Orcs, I think Loken, that fucking dick, and they stepped up to the plate along with Freck.
It's a woman not paying attention. What else would you expect?
True.
Oh!
At least I'm not Canadian.
I like this one already!
And so people left, people stayed, people quit the game entirely. And from those ashes, I looked at what the roster was like. And I said, alright, well, we don't have really a solid enough roster for 25-man, so let's start by killing everything on 10-man heroic. And then we will continue doing that, continue recruiting, and we'll go back to 25-man in a few weeks.
That first week after the official breakup, we did 10-mans, and it was, kind of a clusterfuck.
So 10-man didn't really go the way we wanted it to. In fact, it went terrible.
Once we switched it to 10 and we tried immersives on 10-man heroic, it's just like, oh shit, we have to pay attention to mechanics.
You know that debuff where all the ads spawn and you basically have to stop casting and slowly release the ads, or just stop casting completely for a while so that the ads don't overwhelm you and everybody doesn't die? Yeah, we didn't even know about that in 25-man.
I didn't really feel good about the 10-man after the first week, and I wasn't sure if I was going to stick around.
We did kill it. I think we got like 4, 5, 6, 7 bosses in. I can't remember, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best of big crits.
And so we'd get an app here or there, but not a lot of quality ones and not nearly as many as we needed. And we were basically panicking at that point. I'm like, this may not be possible. We may just have to walk away and move on.
It was looking bad. I'm not gonna lie.
But then the following week, Blizzard fucking saved us.
Just when times were getting dark and we thought we were going to fall through, Cross Realm came through.
Really, I mean, Blizzard kind of owed us, or at least owed me, because, you know, as you'll remember from BlizzCon, I gave the brilliant suggestion to make the flex raid cap in Warlords of Draenor higher than 25. And they've apparently, as of when I'm recording this, decided to do that. They've decided that in Warlords of Draenor, the flex raid cap will be 30 people. So, you know, when Mr. Eon Hazakosis, when Watcher decided to make cross-realm raiding available for normal and heroic Siege of Orgrimmar, you know, really I just saw it as, you know, him returning the favor to me, personally, for me giving them my brilliant idea.
Holy shit, that was like God was like, big crits, you are going to be saved. That's what it felt like.
And it was beautiful. That solved all our issues.
So, once we could do Siege of Orgrimmar heroic cross-realm, suddenly we could do 25-mans again.
And we switched up our recruiting tactic. We said, come join with us, come raid with us, stay on your own server, just join up with our raid team. If you like our raid team, and we like you, we'll bring you over. So it was an absolute perfect setup for rebuilding, because there was basically no money cost. There was no, oh, I gotta pay the transfer fee over to a new server, and maybe faction changed, and I'm paying $50 for a guild that just broke up, and am I really going to waste that much money for a shot in the dark? There wasn't any of that. There was just no risk whatsoever on either side.
Crossrealm saved our guild. I think it's pretty safe to say.
Blizzard probably saved the guild. That's why they released that thing. They released Crossrealm rating, so Big Crits would still be a guild. Those guys, Blizzard, so good.
Nobody gives a fuck about what your old guild did! Your old guild sucked! That's why you're in our guild!
And that's when everything started to happen. We started getting in more recruits. We started rebuilding the raid team. Once we got enough people in for the raid team, we started re-clearing on 25-man.
We started to get a few more people every week. We probably gained one person that was raiding with us that would then transfer over.
But, I mean, obviously, since a lot of these people were less geared than us, and a lot of these people lack experience, and I think just, in general, we, didn't quite have proper raid team synergy, with random pugs left. There was still a lot of raid progression going on.
Half the people we'd never raided with, and a lot of new people in every week was hard, and that really sucked.
And it was slow going. It wasn't we weren't back at Paragons after 2 weeks.
Definitely people needing to learn how to work with each other. When you put, fucking 13 new people into your group, before all the mesh and cohesion and everything that worked well together, all that's lost.
We had a lot of people, a good amount of people that had never done Malkarok and Beyond before, so we were reteaching the fights to these people. Luckily, there was a lot of people that had done the fights, and so the basic core mechanics were set, and we slowly killed the next box. We worked on Malkarok and continued there.
Overall, I think Big Crits pulled together really well from this whole thing. Most guilds would have just fucking been like, fuck it, we're going 10-man and stayed it, but our leadership and with the help from Crossrealms, we were able to pull out of this fucking shithole. And we did a really good job of it.